Hello, ma'am, am I audible?
Yeah, Gulmi, you are audible and visible. Gulmi, you are audible and visible. You can start.
Okay, sir. Thank you. A very good evening, everyone. On behalf of Just Agriculture Education Punjab, I, Golmi Langamulu, cordially invite you all to a 7-day free series for ICAR-ASRB-NET Aspirant from 15 to 21st April 2023. I'm very glad to announce that the program includes 20 specializations, namely agronomy, agriculture chemicals, agricultural metrology, agricultural biotechnology, agricultural entomology, agriculture economics, agriculture extension, agroforestry, soil science, genetics and plant breeding, plant pathology, plant physiology, floriculture and landscaping, fruit science, land and water management engineering, spices plantation, medicinal and aromatic plants, agricultural microbiology, seed science and technology, vegetable science and environmental science will be covered by 40 ICAR NET 2016, 18, 2021 Achievers and ARS Mains Toppers. The ASRB NET qualification is very important because the qualified candidate will be able to apply for the lecturer or the assistant professor post when the vacancies are released by different agricultural universities. I know everyone are busy preparing for the NET exam as the days are running out and eagerly waiting for this 7-day series program, which provide an opportunity for the attendee to learn from previous NET achievers and ARS achievers through daily live session on YouTube with important tips and effective strategies, exposure to the latest exam pattern, and personalized guidance to help you prepare better. Before beginning the program, I would like to tell our participants about the organizers of this program. Just Agriculture is India's most rising agriculture magazine with more than 1.05 readers in India. First issue of the magazine was launched on 5th September 2020, and till now, 19 issues of our magazine are published. It's more credible platform for researchers, students, and scientists to share the ideas of latest innovative topics. Coming to today of this session, today I feel privileged and to welcome the organizing director of this training program, Dr. DPS Badwal, or the prominent speaker of the day, member of the organizing committee, and most importantly, the attendees of this session. Now, I warmly welcome our highly qualified speaker for this first session, Alka from IGKP, Specialization in Floriculture and Landscape Architecture. Architectures. Alka, can you start your presentation?
Am I, ma'am?
Yes, you can start.
First of all, good evening. I am Alka Nirania, and right now I am pursuing my PhD in floriculture and landscaping in IGKV Raipur, Chhattisgarh. So on the 5th day of this series of ASRB NET Aspirants, today I will discuss with you some points regarding our floriculture net. First of all, as you all know, the pattern, we will start from pattern. This exam will be on online computer based exam. There will be 150 questions, and each question will carry 1 marks, and on negative marking there will be 0.3 marks will be deducted. Okay, then will be 2 hours. So we have to complete our exam within 2 hours. Okay, so first, we will start about the syllabus of this exam, because there is a less amount of time we have. So, in this floriculture exam, a total 7 unit. Among them, questions will be asked. So, first, our unit is breeding. In breeding, in flower crop, breeding include means question may be arise from origin of any crop, distribution, and type of variety release, like selection, introduction, hybridization, polyploidy breeding, and other breeding method. Some It may be major loose flower or cut flower crop. Question may be arise from this breeding aspect, that which is polyploidy released variety, which is recently released variety, which is the method of sexual or asexually method used in this crop. Like that question may be asked in exam. Or in breeding, male sterility, self-incompatibility, use of heterosis breeding, and hybrid seed production related question may be asked. And some other breeding achievements, if we are talk about cut flowers, like rose, tuberose, gladiolus, orchid, anthurium, uh, bird of paradise, heliconia. Like major cut flower crop, we have to know that which kind of variety released by this method. So question may ask this type of in breeding. Okay, and in loose flower also, like china aster, jasmine, tuberose, rose, and annuals also, like cosmos, genia, petunia, and some other foliage crops also. Like mostly foliage crops, we know that mutation occurs in that polyploidy, flower size, doubleness. Like that question may ask in our net exam. Okay, then second unit is production technology of cut flower. As the name indicate, cut flower production technology. In this, we will question may ask regarding from propagating material like seed to formation of seed. Like in this crops, planting material, which kind of plant propagation method we are using now. Most of asexual method of propagation we are using now. Then another type of question may ask regarding soil treatment, like CO2 requirement of if we are cultivate cut flower in controlled atmospheric condition. Then in their disease, pest, some specific disease, subspecific pest, sometimes some physiological disorder also we ask because of any nutrient and any environmental or any other source may be except biotic. Okay. Then another type of questions may be like total area production, productivity of floriculture in India as well as world. Okay, and cut flower production productivity. What is the leading cut flower? Like that question may ask in our production technology of cut flower. In that, use of PGR and cut flower, we are consider flower on one stem for the special cultural operations, like cutting, like disbudding, dish shooting, netting, stacking. This kind of question may also ask some kind of special horticultural practices. And sometime question may ask from that harvesting indices, which stage is suitable for harvest, like open, unopen, semi-open, like this. And some physiological disorder, integrated nutrient management, use of PGR, which kind of PGR use in cut flower production. Okay, and what is the difference, yield difference in open cultivated and protected cultivation of cut flower, and which are the cut flower which only used in protected cultivation? Like this question may ask. Then third unit is production technology of loose flower. As loose flower indicate, you all know about loose flower. Loose flower, major loose flower, rose, tuberose, jasmine, marigold, china aster, chrysanthemum, these prosandra. These are major our loose flower crop, and there what is the prospectus in India, what is the area production, and what is the leading state of this loose flower production flower crops. And then there also propagation. There is specific disease regarding some disease caused by nematode, also disease caused by fungus, mite, some specific insect. So each and every crop we have to know about one specific disease and one, at least one specific pest that affects the crop most. Okay, and physiological disorder, and integrated nutrient management, pest management, soil management, nursery management, because most of loose flower crops like marigold, chrysanthemum cutting we are preparing in nursery. So nursery management also, how we can soil, how we can sterilize the soil of- for getting maximum quality of flowers, and maximum the growth and flowering in plant of any flower crop. So in this also the same aspect. Then last question may ask from harvesting, packaging, grading in both cut flower and loose flower also. And there, what is the use of flowers in as fresh as well as in dry form. And in fresh like garland preparation, in case of loose flower, Veni preparation, garland preparation, floaters, water rangoli, like that question may ask you. Okay, then fourth unit of this net syllabus is our that landscaping. Landscaping is a broad subject, and it is somewhat different from our commercial floriculture. In this we in our commercial floriculture we are discussed only cultivation of flower crop. It may be protected or it may be in open field. But in case of landscaping, we include all aspects like trees, shrubs, climbers, flower, foliage, each and everything we include for landscaping. Landscape using a plant or plant material for beautifying the land. So we can use each and everything of live and non-live. So both things we can use. So in landscaping, first of all, start landscaping. We have design and element. What are the design elements? Sometimes question may ask like vista, focal point, specimen plant. Such kind of question may ask from this. And then what are the style of garden or type of garden, like formal, informal, freestyle. And if we are talk about style of garden, then it may be Italian, Persian, Japanese, and English garden, French garden. These type of garden having their specific features, like formal, informal, which kind of things only using this garden. Few people read, very well up to this time, because exam is near, no? So you all know. So then another thing, we can another means now modern time, such another kind of gardens also, like rock garden, roof garden, sunken garden, biostatic, therapeutic garden. Okay, such kind of garden. And according to use and according to environment also, we can categorize some different garden, like industrial garden, institutional garden. Okay, then park, roadside planting. Such kind of things we also create, like biostatic planning. Okay, biotourism, like this things we read in our landscaping. And question may ask from this type also, with means which kind of tree used in roadside planting, which type of specimen plant we can use, which type of climber we can use. So if we are talking about plant material or plant parts, so in this landscaping we use trees also, shrubs, shrubbery, haze, age, and climber, cactus, succulents, ferns, and cycads, palm, etc. Each and everything we are using now. In this, first of all, we have to keep in mind one thing, that is color scheme. We have to know that which kind of color, which kind of flower color we can arrange single row, double row in roadside also. That save environment also, and that beautify the road and the environment also. Okay, So such kind of plants we are using. So we have to know about all thing about plants propagation also. It may be tree, shrub, climber, cactus, succulents. Okay, flowering time, flowering period, flowering color. Okay, then nature of flower, nature of plant, like it is a columnar, it is spray type of oblong type. Each and everything we have to know about that in landscaping also. Then non-living in like xeriscaping and waterscaping, as we are using less amount of plants. Then another things like pebbles, stubbles, water and sand, these are also used. So according to that question we ask in landscaping also. Then another our unit, that fifth unit is protected cultivation. As the name indicates, protected cultivation. In this we are used that our loose flower, cut flower in a controlled environment, है ना? Then question may ask like uh, type of protected cultivation, like greenhouse, poly house, uh, shelter house, rain house. This kind of question may ask. Okay, then based on economic value, like minimum cost, low cost, high cost, advanced protected cultivation method, and what type of cladding material we are using, what is the structure of poly house, what is purling, these separate parts of that protected cultivation structure. That kind of question may ask. What are the specific practices which we are using only protected cultivation rather than open cultivation? That also we have to know, and we can differentiate both the things, open cultivated flower and benefits of protected also, and how we can control climate in protected, because modified climate is there, no? Then we have to manage air also, light, humidity, and then soil also we have to contaminate. Because of high humidity there is more incidence of insect pest disease. So what are the most important disease which occurs in protected cultivation also, if we not properly manage polyhouse also? Which kind of crop which are only grow in protected cultivation, and which like disc budding, netting, harvesting stage, these all kind of things we are using. Question, such kind of question may ask. There is a lot of question from this syllabus. And another thing, another topic we will discuss, like means value addition. In value addition, question may arises like area, production, productivity. What is aspect in prospectus in India also? And in value addition also, fresh flower, cut flower we are using, and dry flower also we are using in value addition. Na? In cut flower, like we can prepare ikebana, moribana, morimono, etc. That floral wreaths, vagera, garland, beni, this kind of things we can prepare from value addition also. So which kind of pigments we are extracting, what are the method of pigment extraction, what are the method of drying of flower, means we are use in value addition we are using dry flower also. Now which plants, which part we are using in dry flower, like fruit, leaves, maybe we will use leaf also, flower also, any plant part also. So different plants you have to know what is the economic part, or which kind of part we are used for value addition also. Means what is the commercial method of flower drying. Okay, then in oil extraction also, what is the which crop is most suitable for oil extraction. Okay, and on the basis of oil content, which crop and which country is superior and leading country, and uh, what is the ranking in oil production also. So in oil production also we have to know each and everything regarding our, almost our 5 to 6 crops are there. From there we are extracting oil, so we have to know very well about these crops also. Then after value addition, the last point is our computer aided design. This is almost we can say somewhat tough in our floriculture and landscape part, but it is very important also. So in this question, always question arises from application, how we can how we can eligible, or how we can use this computer aided design in our landscape gardening. There is almost two type of CAD, means 2D design, two-dimensional design we are called AutoCAD, and three-dimensional design we are called ArchiCAD. So there are different type of software we are using, tools and equipments, and icons also different design. 2D and 3D have different design, different pattern, different photo editing portion, different software. Okay, then along with the means what is the method, what is the strategy, what is the after finalizing the things, then what is the plant type we are using in 2D and 3D. Okay, which I accept plants, non-living things also we are using in that design also. So, and any other things we can add in this, like after preparation of that design, then data management also, then we have to apply that in our main field also. So that CAD computer aided design is also important, and every time question may ask from this unit also. So I briefly discuss with you all the syllabus of this ASRB NET floriculture exam. And now I would like to say important books regarding this exam. So there is lot of books, but because of short period of time, some objective books I will tell, and some subjective also. So I think you may read almost all these books. So first we will start from Introductory Ornamental Horticulture, J.S. Aroda's. Then another book is Instant Horticulture, that is S.N. Gupta. Then a third one is Gloucester's Horticulture, that is Muthu Kumar and Selva Kumar. Then another book is Floriculture at a Glance and Objective Floriculture and Landscaping. Both the books by Sir Deshraj sir. Then another book I would like to recommend you, that Handbook of Horticulture. In Handbook of Horticulture, only floriculture portion we will read, because that this is authentic books. And if we get some doubt from these books and any solved question paper, we can go through this book, because in this book each and everything is mentioned very well. And if in exam also we will that examiner will consider this handbook also. So this is book. And another book I would like to say, that that Nezema's floriculture book, that is that you can also recommend, because in these books our each and every unit from first to 8 unit covered, totally loose protected, that our CAD, then that value addition, each and every aspect will cover. And in the some of books are objective type. So that which kind of question asked in floriculture exam, you may know after reading these all books, and you may get idea also such kind of question may ask. And time is there is scarcity of time, so we don't have that much time to read subjective books. So we go through these books. And I would like to say all you people that in this time, because almost 5 to 10 days remains now, then you people solve more and more objective question, because after solving objective question you will know subjective also, like any propagation, like propagation of tuberose like bulb. Then if in any exam it is comb, then you can also consider subjective book. Then a fundamental aspect also clear, because if we can uh, go through subjective books, then there we get basic knowledge, but we can't get that much idea, means which type of question may ask. So I think you finish your subjective books portion, and now it is time for solve more and more objective question. So you solve more and more objective question. If there is any doubt, all the things which we cover, and which kind of exam question asked in exam may cover, all these books cover. Okay, 80 to 90 or 100 to 120 question may cover, and now and another question will be that maybe 20 to 30 question that will be regarding newly released variety, area production, means which kind of means what is the leading state, what is the area, recent area, like this type of things we can also cover from this book. Okay, so it is all about our net. I told you almost everything in regarding our net exam.
Okay, Alka, so can you please
You can
talk
ask.
about your story to qualify the NET exam and how you prepared during your time?
Actually, ma'am, I also have I don't have that much time because I also prepare for 1 month only. That time I consider more and more objective books, ma'am, and I solve more last year papers. And if there is any doubt, then I go through subjective books because I also have that. I had also less amount of time. That's why within a short period of time, I suggest all of them that you go through objective only and solve more and more last year's questions. Ma'am.
And you might have come across like some question where you have confusion, like
What, ma'am?
50-50. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Uh,
ma'am.
During your previous exam, you might have come across like some confusion question, like 50% chance you know, and 50% you are not sure. In that kind of situation, how do you pop it up? How you would suggest the coming up aspirant whether to go for it or like that?
Actually, ma'am, some things are fixed. Means some of botanical name, family, some kind of chromosome numbers. Sometimes we get confused in chromosome numbers also, and some important terms that is related to which crop or not. While solving objective question, ma'am, if we get doubt, then we have to go. We can go subjective books like in that handbook of horticulture and any textbook of floriculture. Then if we have that doubt and we go through that book, then that doubt also clear, and we get also some knowledge regarding that. So such kind of queries can solve from this way, ma'am.
As time was limited, so thank you so much, Alka, for sharing your precious words and how to prepare the NET exam regarding the flower production, the nutrient management, and landscaping techniques. I hope the attendees will remember this, and thank you for giving your valuable tips. Next, we have the next speaker, Shakshi Kiran Minch, specialization in floriculture and landscape architecture, to deliver her lecture. To start the session by introducing yourself.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello, am I audible to you?
Yes, you are audible. Please start.
Okay, so myself, Shikran Minj, and currently I'm pursuing my PhD degree from IGKV Raipur in floriculture and landscape architecture. So I have cracked my NET 2021 exam in my first attempt. I have started my the education when I was in MSc. तो पहले स्पीकर है, उन्होंने काफी आप लोगों को एक्सप्लेन किया है दैट द एग्जाम एट एन एग्जाम का वो कैसे होना चाहिए, एग्जाम्स कितने मार्क्स के होते हैं, कितने नेगेटिव मार्किंग होते हैं. सो हमारे कुछ अलका ने काफी कुछ चीजों को आप लोगों को वो क्लियर किया है. तो इनके कुछ की पॉइंट्स हैं जो कि एग्जाम में काफी इंपॉर्टेंट है और वो एग्जाम में वो आ सकते हैं. तो लेट्स डिस्कस अबाउट दैट अकॉर्डिंग टू द कोर्स नंबर. सो सबसे पहले प्रोडक्शन टेक्नोलॉजी अगर हम लोग देखें तो इसमें आता है साइंटिफिक नेम और इनकी जो फैमिली है उनसे क्वेश्चन आती हैं. साइंटिफिक नेम में जो इनके जो जितने भी मेजर क्रॉप्स होते हैं, जैसे कि फॉर एग्जांपल ट्यूबरोज हो गया. ट्यूबरोज का नाम अभी चेंज हो गया है, उसका नाम हो गया है अगेव एमआई का। सो ऐसे जो क्वेश्चंस होते हैं जो जिनका नेम थोड़ा चेंज जाता है, थोड़े से डिफिकल्ट होते हैं, ऐसे क्वेश्चंस मोस्टली क्वेश्चंस आपके ये नेट में आते हैं। इनके अलावा जितने माइनर क्रॉप्स हैं, लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल बर्ड ऑफ पैराडाइज जो है, इनसे भी क्वेश्चंस फ्रेम होते हैं, प्लस इनकी फैमिली भी इंपॉर्टेंट होती है। दूसरी चीज में ये है कि इनमें से इनके जो क्रोमोसोम नंबर है, उनका प्लॉइडिक लेवल जो है, इनसे भी क्वेश्चंस आते हैं। क्लासिफिकेशन भी इसमें बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट, लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल क्लासिफिकेशन से भी एटलीस्ट 1 से 2 नंबर के जो क्वेश्चंस होते हैं वो आप लोगों को इसमें देखने को मिलेगा। क्लासिफिकेशंस में जैसे कि आपका टाइप्स ऑफ रोज हो गया, टाइप्स ऑफ कमीशन हो गया, क्राइसैंथेमम हो गया, इनसे क्वेश्चंस फ्रेम होती हैं। और जो वैरायटीज है, अगेन ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है, वैरायटीज से भी एटलीस्ट 2 to 3 ये मार्क्स से क्वेश्चंस फ्रेम होते हैं। और सॉरी सो जो वैरायटीज होते हैं, इनमें सिर्फ जो वैरायटीज पॉपुलर वैरायटीज है, उनके अलावा जो वैरायटीज जो एक्सपोर्ट जो वैरायटीज होती हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल जैसे रोज के केस में जो फर्स्ट रेट वैरायटी है वो एक्सपोर्ट वैरायटी है, वो एक्सपोर्टिंग वैरायटी है। सो ऐसे वैरायटीज भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होती हैं, तो आप लोगों को ये सारी वैरायटीज में भी आप लोगों को ध्यान देना है। अगला आता है इनका प्रोपोगेशन। प्रोडक्शन टेक्नोलॉजी में प्रोपोगेशन से भी अराउंड 2 to 3 क्वेश्चंस, मतलब 2 to 3 मार्क्स से क्वेश्चन फ्रेम होते हैं। इनमें हर एक जो आपका वेजिटेटिव भी है, जो आपका जो आपका सेक्सुअल थ्रेड से भी होता है, इनसे भी कौन कौन से जो क्रॉप्स हैं जो ग्रो होते हैं, इनसे भी क्वेश्चंस काफी आता है। इसके बाद आता है इसमें स्पेशल इंटरकल्चर ऑपरेशन। हर एक क्रॉप में कुछ कुछ चीजें ऐसी होती हैं जो उनको अदर क्रॉप से अलग करती है। लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल अगर हम लोग देखें रोज के केस में अगर इंटरकल्चर ऑपरेशन देखें तो उसमें एक होता है बेंडिंग। बेंडिंग जो है वो सिर्फ रोज में होता है। सो कुछ कुछ चीजें हैं, तो इंटरकल्चर ऑपरेशन से अराउंड 3 to 4 मार्क्स के क्वेश्चन फ्रेम होते हैं। तो आप लोग को ये चीजें ध्यान में रखना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। नेक्स्ट आता है इसमें हार्वेस्टिंग, जो इनका जो अगला है हार्वेस्टिंग इंडाइसेस हो गया, चाहे वो पल्सिंग ट्रीटमेंट हो गया, वो चाहे स्टोरेज का टेम्परेचर हो गया, इनसे भी अराउंड 2 to 3 मार्क्स से क्वेश्चन फ्रेम होते हैं। सो हर एक क्रॉप का हार्वेस्टिंग इंडाइसेस इंक्लूडिंग माइनर क्रॉप, ये आइडिया होना इम्पोर्टेंट है। इसके अलावा इनमें जो आते हैं फिजियोलॉजिकल डिसऑर्डर, अगेन फिजियोलॉजिकल डिसऑर्डर इज ऑल्सो अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक। आप लोग को सारे क्रॉप्स का ये एटलीस्ट आप लोग को डिफ्रेंसिएशन होना इम्पोर्टेंट है। डिजीज और पेस्ट में ये चीज है कि जो डिजीज और जो पेस्ट है हर एक क्रॉप्स का, उनका जो ट्रांसमिशन का मोड है और उनके जो कॉजल ऑर्गेनिज्म होते हैं, इनसे क्वेश्चंस आते हैं। सो आपको ये 2 चीजें एटलीस्ट आपको याद रखना जरूरी है। और इनके अलावा अगर इनमें कुछ रेजिस्टेंट वैरायटी इनके लिए डेवलप हुई है, तो आप लोगों को वो चीजों को भी ध्यान में रखना इम्पोर्टेंट है। अगला आता है हमारा जो सब्जेक्ट है वो आता है ब्रीडिंग। ब्रीडिंग के पर्सपेक्टिव से इनमें जो मेजर जो क्वेश्चन फ्रेम होते हैं वो ये होते हैं, लाइक कौन सा जीन रिस्पॉन्सिबल है फ्लावर डबलनेस के लिए, कौन सा जीन रिस्पॉन्सिबल है आपका फ्लावर फ्रेग्रेंस के लिए। अगर हम लोग अगर ये जो पर्टिकुलर जीन है, वो जीन अगर उसमें प्रेजेंट है तो उसमें कौन सी वेरिएशन आएंगी। सो ऐसे जीन से बेसिकली इसमें से क्वेश्चंस फ्रेम होती हैं। सो ब्रीडिंग पर्सपेक्टिव से आप लोगों को जितने भी चीजें आप लोग जो ऑब्जेक्टिव होंगे वो चाहे रेफरेंस बुक में दिए होंगे, आप लोग प्लीज एक। अगली चीज आती है इसमें लैंडस्केपिंग का जो हिस्सा है, सो इसमें फोकस करना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। गार्डनिंग के हिस्से से हिस्ट्री जो आता है, जो मेन गार्डनिंग का है, यानी कि उनका हेलो, am I audible to you all?
Yes, you are audible.
ओके। तो जो गार्डनिंग कल्चर रहता है, इसमें जो मेजर जो क्वेश्चन है, कौन सा गार्डन किसने डेवलप किया और ये कहाँ प्रेजेंट है, प्लस इनका जो ईयर ऑफ स्टैब्लिशमेंट है वो कौन से ईयर में स्टैब्लिश हुआ था। ये चीजें आपके एग्जाम्स में क्वेश्चंस आती हैं, ये आप लोग टिक कर लो, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट और इससे हर साल क्वेश्चंस आप लोग को देखने को मिलता होगा। अगला जो है इसमें वो है गार्डन के स्टाइल्स। गार्डन के अलग स्टाइल्स होते हैं, लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल आपका फॉर्मल में आपका आएगा मुगल आएगा, आपका इनफॉर्मल में आएगा आपका इंग्लिश आ गया, ये सारे जो एग्जाम्पल्स हैं वो आप लोगों को याद करना इंपॉर्टेंट है। इसके अलावा इनका जो बहुत ही बेसिक है, लाइक इनका प्रिंसिपल्स हो गया, इनके एलिमेंट्स, इन दोनों में डिफरेंस क्या क्या होती है, ये एटलीस्ट आप लोगों को पढ़ना और याद करना इम्पोर्टेंट है। अगला इसमें जो आता है लैंडस्केपिंग में, वो पार्ट है इनका लॉन का। लॉन से जो क्वेश्चन फ्रेम होते हैं वो आता है ग्रासेस से, लाइक वार्म सीजन ग्रासेस की लिस्ट कौन कौन से हैं, कूल सीजन के कौन कौन से हैं। सो ग्रासेस से इससे क्वेश्चन फ्रेम होता है, और इसमें कौन कौन से वीड्स पाए आते हैं, तो ये चीज भी इंपॉर्टेंट है। अगला आता है इसमें श्रब्स हो गया, ट्रीज हो गया, क्लाइंबर्स। सो श्रब, ट्रीज और क्लाइंबर्स को याद करने में सबसे डिफिकल्ट चीज ये आता है, वो इसलिए भी है क्योंकि बहुत सारे जो श्रब्स होते हैं और जो ट्रीज होते हैं और जो क्लाइंबर्स हैं, हम लोग ने वो देखा ही नहीं है। सो वो चीजों को याद करना थोड़ा सा वो डिफिकल्ट होता है एज कम्पेयर टू अदर क्रॉप्स, ठीक है। तो इनका इसको इसे ओवरकम करने के लिए जो चीज है वो ये है कि अगर आप लोग कंटिन्यू श्रब्स को देख रहे हैं, तो एटलीस्ट कोई भी आप नाम पढ़ रहे हो तो एक बार आप लोग इंटरनेट में देख लो कि उनका जो स्ट्रक्चर है वो कैसा दिखता है, उनका जो ब्लूमिंग का पीरियड है वो कब आता है, उनमें अगर कोई ब्लूमिंग हो रही है तो वो कौन से कलर की हो रही है। तो ऐसे में एटलीस्ट आप लोग वो चीजें स्ट्राइक रहेगी, दैट जो श्रब्स है वो ऐसा दिखता है, उनकी जो हाइट है वो अराउंड इतनी होती है, और उनमें जो फ्लावर का कलर रहता है वो इस कलर का आता है। सो आप लोगों को वो कहीं ना कहीं वो चीजें हैं वो एग्जाम में आपको वो हेल्पफुल होती हैं। सो मैं ये रिकमेंड करूंगी श्रब्स, ट्रीज और क्लाइंबर्स के लिए कि आप लोग इसमें आइडेंटिफिकेशन का जो हिस्सा है आप लोग वो एटलीस्ट एक बार वो करो। इसके बाद इसमें अगला आप लोग देख सकते हैं कि पिछले बार जो क्वेश्चंस आता है वो फर्न से भी क्वेश्चन आए थे, तो फर्न से भी एटलीस्ट एक या दो क्वेश्चंस आते हैं, जितने फर्न्स के स्पीशीज होते हैं और उनका जो प्रोपगेशन का मेथड है उनसे क्वेश्चंस भी फ्रेम होता है। अगला आता है इनका वैल्यू एडिशन। वैल्यू एडिशन के हिस्से में अलग अलग पार्ट है, लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल सबसे पहला पार्ट है इसमें फ्लावर अरेंजमेंट का। फ्लावर अरेंजमेंट में लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल आपका मोरी खाना हो गया, मोरी खोना हो गया, ये क्या होता है, इनमें डिफरेंस क्या होता है, ये एटलीस्ट आप लोगों को पता होना जरूरी है। इसके बाद इनका जो भी आपका इनका जो अलग अलग वो टाइप्स होता है फ्लावर अरेंजमेंट का, एटलीस्ट आप लोगों को वो पता होना चाहिए। ये एक होता है वेस्टर्न होता है और एक होता है ईस्टर्न। सो ये होता है डिफरेंट। फिर अगला आता है ड्राई फ्लावर्स। ड्राई फ्लावर्स में जो चीजें हम लोग यूज करते हैं और जो टॉप 10 ड्राई फ्लावर्स जो कि ग्लोबल मार्केट में यूज होता है, एटलीस्ट आपको उनका जो सीक्वेंस है वो याद करना इंपॉर्टेंट है। इसके अलावा इनकी जो टर्मिनोलॉजीज होती है, लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल आपका पॉटपोरी हो गया, ये भी इंपॉर्टेंट है आप लोगों को कि एटलीस्ट इसमें कौन कौन सी चीजें, कौन कौन से फ्लावर के पार्ट्स ड्राई करने के लिए यूज होता है। थर्ड चीज ये है कि ड्राई फ्लावर्स में हम लोग कौन कौन सा मेथड यूज करते हैं फ्लावर को ड्राई करने के लिए, और उनमें से कौन सा चीपेस्ट है, कौन सा कॉस्टलीस्ट है और कौन सा एफिशिएंट मेथड है। इनका भी जो एग्जाम में है वो आपको क्वेश्चंस आपको देखने को मिलेगा। इसके अलावा इनका जो भी ड्राइंग का टेम्परेचर होता है, लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल माइक्रोवेव ड्राइंग है तो उनका जो ड्राइंग का टेम्परेचर है वो अराउंड कितना होना चाहिए, ये भी आप लोगों को एक बार ये देखना इंपॉर्टेंट है। अगला आता है आपका वैल्यू एडिशन में ऑयल एक्सट्रैक्शन मेथड। सो अगेन जो ऑयल एक्सट्रैक्शन मेथड है ये अगेन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। फ्लावर के केस में हम लोग अलग अलग जो ऑयल एक्सट्रैक्शन है ये मेथड यूज होता है, तो आप लोगों को हर एक क्रॉप का जो ऑयल एक्सट्रैक्शन का मेथड्स है एटलीस्ट आप लोगों को वो याद होना चाहिए, और उनको एक्सट्रैक्ट करने के लिए कौन कौन सी चीजों को हम लोग यूज करते हैं वो भी आप लोगों को पता होना चाहिए, ठीक है। इसके बाद आता है अगला नेचुरल पिगमेंट्स या फिर जो भी डाई हम लोग यूज करते हैं फ्लावर्स में वो भी इंपॉर्टेंट है। लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल ऑर्नामेंटल क्रॉप्स में मोस्टली बीटालिन, एंथोसायनिन और जो हेटेनॉइड है, ये तीन पिगमेंट्स मोस्टली आप लोगों को देखने को मिलता है, ठीक है। तो इनका जो पिगमेंट है लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल बीटालिन, बीटालिन कौन से क्रॉप में आप लोगों को देखने को मिलता है, तो इससे ऐसे जो क्वेश्चंस होते हैं वो फ्रेम होते हैं। इसके अलावा कौन कौन से मेथड हम लोग डाई एक्सट्रैक्शन के लिए यूज करते हैं, तो ये है ये मेथड है, ये सब आप लोगों को एटलीस्ट ये सब याद होना इम्पोर्टेंट है। अगला आता है प्रोटेक्टेड फ्लोरिकल्चर। सो एज एज जो अलका ने था कि आप लोगों उन्होंने काफी चीजों को एक्सप्लेन किया था। इसके अलावा उसमें जो कुछ चीजें हैं, जैसे कि जो ग्रीन हाउस का ओरिएंटेशन है, उनसे क्वेश्चन फ्रेम होता है, उनके जो अलग अलग पार्ट्स होते हैं उनसे क्वेश्चन फ्रेम होता है। लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल जो गटर की हाइट होती है वो ग्रीन हाउस में लगभग कितनी होती है। इनके अलावा उनमें जो जो क्लैडिंग मटेरियल यूज होता है, उनका जो भी ड्यूरेशन होता है वो कितना होता है, वो कितना ड्यूरेबल होता है। इनसे ऐसे क्वेश्चन फ्रेम होते हैं। इनके अलावा ग्रीन हाउस में कुछ अलग अलग कुछ स्पेसिफिक मेथड यूज होते हैं। लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल उसमें लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल रोज के केस में देख लीजिए। रोज के केस में जो स्टेंटिंग का मेथड है, स्टेंटिंग सिर्फ रोज में होता है, ये ऑर्नामेंटल क्रॉप्स में। सो ये आप ग्रीन हाउस कंडीशन में ही देखने को मिलेगा। सो ऐसे कुछ मेथड्स हैं जो कि आपको ग्रीन हाउस में देखने को मिलते हैं। वो एटलीस्ट आपको वो लिख के आप लोगों को अलग ये कर लेना है। इसके अलावा जितने भी जो डिसऑर्डर्स हैं, जो कि और कुछ कुछ क्रॉप्स हैं जो कि सिर्फ हम लोग ग्रीन हाउस के अंडर में ग्रो करते हैं, वो सभी चीजें आपको याद होना इंपॉर्टेंट है। इसके बाद अगला आता है पोस्ट हार्वेस्ट। पोस्ट हार्वेस्ट जो है, पोस्ट हार्वेस्ट जो अलग अलग टेक्निक्स होते हैं, आपका प्री कूलिंग से लेके पूरा स्टोरेज तक का, आप लोगों को वो सीक्वेंस याद करना इंपॉर्टेंट है। प्री कूलिंग में कुछ कुछ लाइक आपको जैसे रोज हो गया, आपका ये कार्नेशन हो गया, तो इनके जो मेजर क्रॉप्स हैं, उनका जो प्री कूलिंग का टेम्परेचर है, एटलीस्ट वो सब आप लोग कहीं पे एक बार लिख लो। ये सब भी एक बार आपके एग्जाम्स में इनके टेम्परेचर से क्वेश्चन आ सकता है। इसके अलावा इनमें जो भी चीजें यूज होता है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल इनके जो कुछ वराइटीज हैं और इनके कुछ जो क्रॉप्स हैं जो कि इथिलीन से सेंसिटिव हैं, तो इथिलीन से सेंसिटिव वराइटीज और कुछ जो इनसे सेंसिटिव नहीं है, उन वराइटीज में डिफरेंशिएशन और कौन कौन से कंपोनेंट्स हम लोग पल्सिंग के लिए यूज करते हैं, उनका जो कंपोनेंट्स का लिस्ट, लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल एंटी ट्रांसपेरेंट्स हो गया, ऑर्गेनिक जो कंपाउंड्स जो हम लोग यूज करते हैं वो कौन कौन से यूज होते हैं। तो एटलीस्ट आप लोगों को ये सब चीजें भी इसमें इंक्लूड करना इंपॉर्टेंट है। तो ये हो गया आपका की पॉइंट्स। इसके अलावा जो ऑब्जेक्टिव बुक्स और जो रेफरेंस बुक आप लोगों को इसमें मतलब इम्पोर्टेंट है पढ़ना, वो ये है कि सबसे पहले देखिए जो आपका आता है रेफरेंस बुक या फिर स्टैंडर्ड बुक्स। ये एज वी नो कि हम लोग के पास ड्यूरेशन बहुत ही कम है, लेकिन जो अगर आप अच्छी एक जो आपको बुक्स इसमें कंसल्ट करना चाहिए वो है आपका हैंडबुक ऑफ हॉर्टिकल्चर, कमर्शियल, फ्लोरिकल्चर बाय टीके बोस। इसके 2 वॉल्यूम है। अगेन फ्लोरिकल्चर एंड लैंडस्केपिंग, ये भी टीके बोस के थ्रू लिखा हुआ है। इसके अलावा ब्रीडिंग ऑफ ऑर्नामेंटल
Hello, Shakshi.
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible to you? So sorry for the network.
You continue.
ओके सो जितने आप लोग के बुक्स थे अभी, ये प्रीवियस वाली ये सारी रेफरेंसेस बुक है। आप लोगों को एटलीस्ट आप लोग का बेसिक क्लियर होना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। एसआरएफ नेट ये डिफिकल्ट इसलिए भी है क्योंकि इसमें बहुत ही बेसिक जो क्वेश्चंस होते हैं वो आते हैं। अगर आप लोग सिर्फ ऑब्जेक्टिव ही पढ़ेंगे तो आप लोग को जो बेसिक्स है वो क्लियर होना थोड़ा वो इम्पॉसिबल है, वो क्लियर नहीं हो सकता। सो उसको ओवरकम करने के लिए आप लोगों को तो ये रेफरेंसेस बुक है, आप लोगों को वो पढ़ना इंपॉर्टेंट है। और रही बात हमारे पास 1 हफ्ते से भी कम ड्यूरेशन हुआ नेट के एग्जाम के लिए। सो बहुत सारे ऑब्जेक्टिव बुक्स हैं। तो उनमें से जो कुछ बुक है जो आप लोगों को एज अ रिकमेंडेड जो एज अ रिकमेंडेड है वो है नजीसा फ्लोरिकल्चर। ये सब्जेक्टिव प्लस ऑब्जेक्टिव बुक है। इसके अलावा है फ्लोरिकल्चर एट ए ग्लांस बाय देशराज। थर्ड बुक है फ्लोरिकल्चर एंड लैंडस्केप बाय इराती सत्यनारायणा। सो ये तीनों जो बुक है ये ऑब्जेक्टिव प्लस ये सब्जेक्टिव भी है। आपको हर एक चैप्टर के पहले आप लोगों को इनमें एक्सप्लेनेशन मिलेगा और चैप्टर के एंड में कुछ ऑब्जेक्टिव्स मिलेंगे। सो आप लोगों के लिए ये काफी यूजफुल होगा। और इनके कुछ भी डाउट्स होंगे आप लोगों को, लाइक जो ऑब्जेक्टिव होता है इनके, अगर आप लोग कुछ भी आप लोग को समझ में नहीं आ रहा, कुछ भी आप लोग को इसमें डाउट हो रहा है, तो आप लोग को डायरेक्टली ऑब्जेक्टिव बुक्स को नहीं आना है। आप लोगों को उसमें रेफरेंस बुक जो आप लोगों को दिया हुआ है, आप जैसे कि ये टीके कोर्स का बुक हो गया, आप लोगों को उनको इनमें आप लोगों को रिफर करना इसमें इम्पोर्टेंट होता है। इसके अलावा ये है कि नेट में ड्यूरेशन बहुत ही कम होता है। आप लोग के पास क्वेश्चन होता है 150। सो नेट के एग्जाम में कुछ ऐसे जो क्वेश्चंस होते हैं जो कि बहुत ही कंफ्यूजिंग होते हैं। लाइक फॉर एग्जाम्पल, जैसे कि अगर क्वेश्चन ऐसे आ रहा है कि विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज नॉट एन फैमिली ऑफ एस्टेरेसी, तो जो वो नॉट लिखा रहता है वो हड़बड़ी में हम लोग पढ़ नहीं पाते हैं। ठीक है, तो क्वेश्चंस को आराम से पढ़ना इंपॉर्टेंट है। क्वेश्चंस को आराम से पढ़िए और जो आंसर है वो टिक कीजिए। अगर आप लोगों को जो क्वेश्चंस हो रहा है उसमें आपको कंफ्यूजन है, तो वो आप लोग अनरीड कर दो, और सारे जब क्वेश्चन सॉल्व हो जाएं तो एंडिंग में देखिए कि जितने भी जो क्वेश्चंस होते हैं वो लेफ्ट आउट हुए हैं, अगर वो ड्यूरेशन बचा है 10-15 मिनट, तो एक बार दोबारा पढ़ के वो क्वेश्चंस को देखो। और अगर आप लोग को आंसर आइडिया है तो आप लोग उसमें मतलब जो भी होगा वो टिक करिए। नेगेटिव मार्किंग अवॉइड करना इसमें, क्योंकि ऐसा होता है कि हम लोग के पास मतलब ऐसा होता है कि अगर 100 जो क्वेश्चन हो रहा है अगर इतना बन गया, तो कुछ ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस भी होते हैं कि हाँ हम लोग और जो क्वेश्चन होता है वो सॉल्व उनको करना चाहिए। लेकिन अब जो मेजर मिस्टेक होता है वो इसी चीज में होती है कि अगर आप लोग किसी क्वेश्चन के लिए कंफर्म नहीं हो या फिर श्योर नहीं हो और डाउट है, तो आप लोगों को वो क्वेश्चन को सॉल्व नहीं करना है। सो आई होप आप लोगों को समझ में आया होगा, एंड ऑल द वेरी बेस्ट फॉर द कमिंग एग्जाम, एंड ओवर टू यू मैम।
Sakshi, I have a question for you. Like, what was
Yes,
your
ma'am.
strategies during your preparation? How did you start your preparation? Can you share it so that the aspirant can also have some idea? Because some MSc student will also be preparing for the first time. So I hope you can share yours.
यस मैम, यस मैम। एक्चुअली जो एग्जाम का स्ट्रैटेजी है, अगर आप लोग एमएससी फाइनल ईयर में है और आप लोग के पास जो ड्यूरेशन है एटलीस्ट ये 1 ईयर का है, तो आप लोग को मैं ये रिकमेंड करती हूँ कि आप लोग रेफरेंसेस जितने बुक्स का लिस्ट मैंने आप लोग को दिया है एटलीस्ट वो पढ़ना शुरू कर दीजिए। और जो बच्चे जिनका मतलब जो ऑलरेडी अभी एग्जाम दे रहे हैं, ठीक है, मतलब अभी देने वाले हैं, उनके लिए मैं ये बोलती हूँ कि आप लोगों का जो प्रिपरेशन है वो 1-2 हफ्ते में तो पॉसिबल नहीं है। सो आप लोग ऑब्वियसली पहले से पढ़ना शुरू कर दिए होंगे, तो अभी का जो भी ड्यूरेशन होता है आप उसमें जितने ऑब्जेक्टिव जितने भी क्वेश्चंस होते हैं वो सॉल्व करना आप लोग वो शुरू कर दो। इसके अलावा जितने भी रिविजन और जितने की पॉइंट्स होते हैं उनको आप लोग एक बार थोरोली देखना शुरू कर दो। ऐसा में ऐसा होता है कि जो फ्लोरिकल्चर है थोड़ा कंफ्यूजिंग है, तो अगर आप लोग इसको हर एक या फिर हर 1-2 हफ्ते में आप लोग इनका रिवीजन नहीं करोगे तो वो भूलने होता है। तो मैं आप लोग को ये रिकमेंड करती हूँ कि आप लोग रिवीजन प्लस जो ऑब्जेक्टिव के जो जितने भी क्वेश्चंस होते हैं वो सॉल्व करिए। थैंक यू।
And also, you have mentioned about the scientific name and families. So, like, if you can mention some 2 or 3 important crops or important plants that is very likable to ask in the coming exam, which is very important.
एक्चुअली जितने भी साइंटिफिक नेम होते हैं और जितने भी जितने श्रब्स होते हैं और क्लाइंबर्स होते हैं उनको प्रेडिक्ट करना थोड़ा सा डिफिकल्ट होता है, बट पिछले एग्जाम में जैसे कि जो क्वेश्चंस होते हैं, लाइक एग्जांपल आपको मैं एग्जांपल दे रही हूँ जो कि जीआरएफ में क्वेश्चन आया हुआ था एक बार, कि जो ट्यूबरोस है, ट्यूबरोस का हम लोग को आंसर ये पता है कि उसका जो बॉटनिकल नेम है वो है फोलियंथस ट्यूबरोसा, लेकिन अभी उसका नाम चेंज हो गया है, उसका नाम हो गया है अगेव एमाइका। सो जितने भी चीजें हैं जैसे कि ट्यूबरोज हो गया, रोज का बहुत ही वो कॉमन है, बर्ड ऑफ पैराडाइज हो गया, डेथ हो गया, ये सारे जितने भी क्रॉप्स होते हैं ये थोड़े से अनटच्ड हैं, तो इनसे क्वेश्चंस मोस्टली फ्रेम होता है। जो मेजर क्रॉप्स हैं उनका बॉटनिकल हर किसी को आइडिया, लेकिन जो माइनर क्रॉप्स होते हैं इनका बॉटनिकल नेम थोड़ा सा याद करना डिफिकल्ट से फ्रेम होते हैं। ठीक है, तो आई वुड रिकमेंड कि जितने भी क्रॉप्स हैं उनका जो साइंटिफिक नेम है इंक्लूडिंग देयर फैमिलीज, आप लोगों को वो एटलीस्ट एक बार याद करना इम्पोर्टेंट है।
According to you, what do you think? How many questions is necessary in NET exam?
Sorry ma'am, but your voice is not audible to me. Can you please repeat?
I'm saying, how many questions is it necessary to qualify the NET exam according to you for this coming up exam?
Okay, for like for example, ST के लिए जो भी परसेंटेज रहता है वो होता है 40% काफी इम्पोर्टेंट है, और मतलब ST और SC के लिए 40% इम्पोर्टेंट है, और सेम OBC के लिए अराउंड 45% is important, and for general degree it's around 50%. So अगर आप जैसे ये 150 क्वेश्चंस हो रहा है, अगर आप उसमें 60 क्वेश्चंस भी अगर आप लोग उसमें वो सॉल्व हो रहा है और आप ST और या फिर आप SC हैं, तो उस वाले केस में आपका जो एग्जाम है वो क्वालिफाई हो जाएगा। वैसे ही सेम अगर आपके जो मार्क्स हैं नेट में, अगर आप OBC हैं और आपके जो मार्क्स है 67.5 से ऊपर है या फिर उतना है, तो भी आपका जो एग्जाम है वो क्वालिफाई हो जाएगा। और ऐसे ही सेम जनरल के केस में अगर आपके मार्क्स 75 अराउंड है, तो आपका जो 50% है वो एक्वायर हो जाएगा।
जैसे कि उन लोग क्वेश्चन अटेम्प्ट करने के बाद थोड़ा सा शॉर्टेज है, ऐसे होने से अनअटेम्प्ट क्वेश्चन को फिर से एक बार चेक करना चाहिए कि नहीं?
आई वुड रिकमेंड कि बिल्कुल चेक करना चाहिए। ऐसा होता है दैट हमारे पास 2 घंटे का बस ड्यूरेशन होता है। सो अगर आप लोग को जो क्वेश्चंस, अगर आप लोग को लग रहा है कि ये बहुत ही ये टाइम ले रहा है, तो आई वुड रिकमेंड कि आप लोग वो आप अनसेव करो और आगे बढ़ जाओ। और आखिरी में एटलीस्ट आप लोग 10 से 15 मिनट्स उसको जितने भी क्वेश्चंस होगा उनके लिए सेव करो, और एक बार रिव्यू करिए कि जो क्वेश्चंस अगर आप लोग को वो याद आ रहा है तो आप लोग उसको अटेम्प्ट करिए। अगर अटेम्प्ट मतलब अगर आप लोग को वो बिल्कुल भी हिंट नहीं मिल रहा है, तो आप लोग उसमें अपना टाइम वेस्ट बिल्कुल करिए और उसको अटेम्प्ट करने की कोशिश मत करिए, क्योंकि दैट वुड लीड टू नेगेटिव मार्किंग ओनली।
And how do you feel sharing about these tips and all to this aspirant?
Ma'am, you're not audible actually, so sorry.
Am I not audible? Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's fine.
So what I'm saying is, did you get any opportunity like this to share during your previous time, and how do you feel sharing these tips to the coming up aspirants?
Yeah, actually, I have shared with some of my juniors previously. So I'm very glad that you gave me the opportunity to share my experience with all the students out there. So thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Shakshi.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sakshi Winch, for your details and proper planning and executing and how to question in the upcoming exam. I hope everyone will keep in mind and which books to be read during this short period of time. Is Mishika available for the next speaker?
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Please on your video. You cannot see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now can I share now screen?
Yeah. You can share and wait. Are you able to share?
Okay. Is my screen visible?
Yes, your screen is visible.
Okay.
Next, we have Michitani from IRI, specialization in fruit science, to deliver this lecture. To motivate our participant, I would request Michi to start the session by introducing yourself.
Okay. First of all, thank you to Just Agriculture and their team to giving me opportunity to give a short lecture on strategies and topics to prepare for ASRB-NET. And myself, Michitani, I am research scholar from IIR New Delhi, Division of Fruit Science. So today, I'm going to give some short lecture or guidance related to your NET examination, as your examination is next week. So what strategies I did and which actually worked for me, I'm going to follow that, because everybody has their own strategies. So which you find feasible, you should find it. So next, first of all, we have to know the syllabus, because syllabus gives you the entire environment where you are, what kind of topic it is, and whether it's kind of easy or hard. So you can find from that syllabus itself. So syllabus, first of all, you have to get the idea of proper syllabus. So you can find it from ASRB website itself. So there it contains like tropical and subtropical, the tropical and dry plant fruit production, biodiversity and conservation, canopy management, breeding of fruit crops, post-harvest, growth and development, biotechnology, protected fruit culture. And sometimes they ask plantation crop also, at least hardly 2 or 3 questions. And also from post-harvest also, they are hardly asked 2 or 3 questions, but we cannot skip that 2 or 3 questions also, because each mark counts. So for cutoff, if you see the cutoff for unreserved categories, so you have to score like 75 marks to qualify, that is 75%. And for OBC and EWS, you can score more than 67.5, that is 45%. And for SC and ST, you can just score more than 60 marks, that is 40%. So total number of questions is 150, and each carries 1 mark. So there is negative marking of 0.33. So you should be very careful about it. So hardly, if you make three questions wrong, you can deduct 1 mark. So what is the basic idea actually for any exam preparations, whether it's JRF or NET or ASRB or any kind of exam? Yes. Hello.
I think your screen is not moving. Can you share it again?
Okay, is it moving?
Oh yeah, now it's moving. Yeah. Basic idea.
It's moving, right? Okay. So first of all, for any exam preparations, you have to have the right approach, like whom you should ask, what is the strategy, what direction they can give you. So they can be your seniors, friends, or teachers. And also the right study materials. Before preparing for any exam, you have to grab the right study materials, which can be recommended already by your professors, or already the one who's seniors, those who are working, or those who got some successful in any kind of examinations. So they can give you the right materials, and also right guidance. The same persons will give you the right guidance. So what topic you have to focus more, where you are going to, whether you are going in the wrong direction or right direction. So this kind of guidance they will give you. So next, right time means when you should start. If your exam is next year, you have to start from this year itself properly. And if your exam is 2 years later, so still you can slowly collect the notes. And also right time is the basic fundamental thing to crack any examination, because in the end, at the last, you cannot gather all the materials, or you cannot read everything at once. So for that, you have to at least maintain the time. Time is very important for preparations of any exam. So next, solving part, then I am going to share you my experience related to last paper. This is 2021 NET examination paper. So there question I divided into 3 parts. Like it is very easy questions, like 80 to 90 questions. You will find very easy questions from fruit science. This subject is all related to fruit science, okay? Because I am division from fruit science. So 80 to 90 questions from food science, it was very easy. That means very easy. It doesn't mean like you do not have to study. You have to study, then only it's easy. So that easy means type of what is the family of this crop, what this variety belongs to which crop, and what is the pigment related to causing this redness or purple color. So these are the direct questions. No need of confusing or no going of depth for that. So that kind of questions you cannot leave, because such questions are directly related to your, and it's available in all your study materials, whether in your MCQ or whether it's your subjective or standard books. Such questions are very common, and these questions, because of easiness, some people they do not read also actually. Like I know this question, I know I can solve this, so they don't read. So but in the end, in the exam, they get confused. Like, okay, I have seen this, at least I can remember properly. That kind of. So that's why even though it's easy, you should not skip. Even though it's you know the family, or you know the variety of this, or know the the chromosome number, at least you have to read again and again. So that's your short question you can't miss in the exam, and that's your short question. 80 to 90 questions is more than enough to get the cutoff mark. Also, you can qualify for other exams like SMS or any kind of related. Last year also, I qualified for ARS prelims also by solving such questions only. So easy questions, you can get more than 80 to 90 questions, and that you cannot leave if you have prepared well, at least 2 months if you have prepared well, or if you have solved more than 5-6 times MCQ books. And next is some questions like 20 questions will be there, 50-50%. Like it's like confusing. This might be the answer, or this might be. So such questions is speculative. So you just leave that question for now at the first stage. So that's next question. Again, you will find that 20 questions, you will find hard one. Like it's very difficult if you have even if you haven't gone for standard books properly. If you have gone to standard books or some research paper, then you can solve this kind of hard paper. But the 20 questions is generally we don't solve, because it can reduce our marks. So you can skip that if you find it difficult. But some people, those who have really worked from last 1 year, 2 year, yeah, for them they can, that is little bit medium type, or they can solve this kind of questions. So at last moment, if you have prepared, then it's kind of hard. So some 10 or 50 questions is like 75%, like you have read, but you have read already, and you are little confusing. So this kind of question is like if you can solve, then sometimes high probability that can be correct, that question answer can be correct. So 75%. So risk, you can take risk in such questions where 75% you are sure like this can be the answer. So 50-50 is also, it's also dangerous, but 75% you can solve some by taking risk. Then next you have to there is total 150 question, and when you are solving, you have to solve all the sure questions or easy questions first of all. No need to touch that 50% question or 75%, which you don't need to solve at first round. First round you have to go, so all the 100% which actually that you have to solve, and then in the second round you look for 75% which you have like 75% like this can be the answer. So you can go for, but you should not attempt more than 15 or 20 questions, because if you have already 20 questions wrong, you can lose 7 marks. 7 marks is also a big marks. So if you have guts, then you can go for 20 marks or 15 questions, means which you have 75% to 50% doubtful questions one. So at least you can attempt some from 75%, which are very much likely can be correct, that type of. So no need to solve the hard portion one, which you totally don't know. Okay. So finally, when you go for before submission, you have to recheck everything, like whether the question they asked, I have correct the answer correctly for the sure shot question, especially because you are making silly mistakes. They have asked for mango, but you have answered for banana. So such questions, you need to avoid such silly mistake. You have to read the questions, and you have to see the selected answer, whether the question and answer is correctly matched or not. So to avoid silly mistake, you have to recheck all the questions you have solved. So next, book references for, this is for actually the books I have pointed out for those who are preparing for ASRB or JRF or NET. Actually, these are the books recommended by any scientist or any professors or any seniors, those who have already cracked the examinations. So because standard books is must for any examination, directly going to shortcut like MCQ can make you trouble. So first you have to go for starting from basic horticulture, Then for production purpose fruits, related to tropical and subtropical from TK-BOS, and from physiology you can go WS Dillon. This TK-BOS book is a big volume book, like 4 volume you can find, and this JS Bal is a short version, small version of this tropical and subtropical TK-BOS. They have just extracted some chapters, some points from this book and just pasted in this book, okay, JS Bal. So some, again, for production purpose you can go for Ranjit Singh also. And next, for your biodiversity, you can go for advances in fruit crops like the KL Chata. And most importantly, research papers. If you are solving any question paper and if you feel doubtful, you just read the research paper and go the discussion, research and discussion part, because research papers also you can get a lot of knowledge. The doubtful question which you are finding in textbook or MCQ, you can solve through research papers also. So this books, whatever I have listed, is the one who are going to prepare for next year examinations, or for JRF or SRF examinations or ARS, because now your time is very limited. For next week on itself you have, and these books you cannot go right now. So for them, this is the books for MCQ, like Gloucester's horticulture and instant horticulture, and also comprehensive fruit science. Next, treasure of fruit science, MCQ for in horticulture by Bharat Singh Hadda, and A to Z selections, horticulture at a glance by Celeria, Dr. Celeria, and MCQ of fruit science by Ankit Kumar and et al. So actually, if you have done time, at least you have to revise in this last week 3 or 4 times this Gloucester's horticulture in instant horticulture, and this treasure of fruit science, MCQ in horticulture, Bharat Singh Hadda, and A to Z solutions. So for cracking this MCQ, this net examination, these 4 or 5 books is enough, because from most of the net question they ask the repeat question also, and they ask the same question but little bit twisted means the answer is same itself, they change the little bit question pattern, but that you can solve by solving these 3 books. So you go for Gloucester's instant, treasure of fruit science, MCQ in horticulture, and A to Z solutions. From treasure of fruit science, last time I think nearly 50 to 60% they same questions they asked from here itself, and just this year also they might follow the same thing. So just you have to follow these books by any means. These are the one which can help you in cracking the MCQ books, MCQ examinations. Okay, next, we due to run so the time, let's move to what to read. Okay, so what to read, actually many people cannot find what to read, what area to focus. So first of all, what most questions which are frequently asked in this JRF or SRF or any examinations conducted by ICAR. So origin is very important for any fruit crop, origin, from where it has originated, and also root words, like whether it's Latin word or Greek word, homology derives from Latin or Greek word, musa species derived from Latin word or Greek words, such kind of words. So you can make in small notes, because these are also, they also carry 1 marks. They used to be asked frequently for any fruit crop. So area and production of latest data, like 2021 to 22, you can collect, and at least which is the highest productivity, which is the highest production, which has the highest sharing cultivated under area. So this you can collect from NHB or your ICAR websites and all. So next, and also for any fruit crop, you cannot skip common name, scientific name, family, plural, biology, and chromosome number. So this, whatever I am listed here, all are sure questions. Like you cannot miss this type of questions in examination, because common name, you know the scientific name, but you don't know common name. But so other time you know the common name, but you don't know scientific name. If you don't know scientific name, you are losing 1 mark. If you don't know common name, you are losing 1 mark. So losing 1 common name, those who are fruit science students, I think you are very familiar. There are a lot of common name for at least 1 crop, like for apple of paradise, the apple of paradise for your guava, and your banana tree of wisdom. So this type of common name is there. So food, common means food, this type of different types of common name is there. And family also you have to remember. And floral biology, whether it's floral biology, you have to remember whether it's male or hermaphrodite, male dioecious, or whether it's protogynous. This type of different floral biology you will find in classification of fruit crops in Gloucester's of horticulture. So this, and chromosome number. So you cannot skip this main portion, common name, scientific name, because from here such questions are only can make you score good marks, because hard questions will be hard for everyone. every one of your friends, they will pass that question hard. But such questions, if you have done mistake, your friends will make it correct and they will go ahead. So at least such questions you cannot make mistakes. So important pigments like this are important pigments, carotenoid related to which color, like which fruit crop high in carotenoids, your papaya and your mango, you can say. So acids also, which ascorbic acids, like citric acid is present in which, malic acid is present in which malic acid in your apple and pear, you can answer. And chemical constituents like isopentanol related to what? Isopentanol is related to your ripening, over ripening of your banana. So different, each fruit crop has their own chemical constituents, like papaya is papain. So you have to remember that also, because that can be your scoring point. And minerals and vitamins, which like vitamin A, mango is the highest, and your vitamin C, Barbados cherry is the highest. So calcium, lychee is the highest. So which is the highest, you focus that one, because they ask the highest portion instead of going to the lowest. You highest focus the highest one. For protein, cashew, different types of your chemical constituents is there, different types of vitamins is there. So which is the highest, you focus on that. And wild relatives, why I made 2-star, because wild relatives is the favorite questions for ICAR. They at least ask 2 or 3 wild relatives of any fruit crop, whether it's mangoes, whether it's banana. Last year also they asked apple, I think mango they asked, Mangifera labyrinth, they ask something related. So, so you have to go for wild relatives, at least if you cannot go to large books now at this moment, you try to remember whatever wild relatives given in your Gloucester's book. So next is season of flowering bud initiation. Mostly they focus on temperate fruits, like season of flower bud initiation. During spring season, mostly they initiate. And also, arid crops also they ask related to flower bud initiation. When it's aonla flower bud differentiation, when it is, you can ask March, April, February, March, April, you can read like that. So temperate fruit and arid and semi-arid crop, they mostly I have encountered whether if they have asked about flower bud initiation. So next is commercial propagation, is also very important. Which fruit crop follows which commercial propagation? Okay, and also rootstock. As you know, the rootstock is very important topic for your examination. And which is the drought tolerant, which is saline tolerant, which is the this one woolly aphid tolerant. So different fruit crops have different problems. Nematode tolerant, some have nematode tolerance. You have to remember that particular rootstock only. So season of planting, in which season they have to plant, mostly temperate seasons. You have to go propagation, this commercial propagation during when you go during your February dormant season, you go for propagation. Season of planting for mostly your evergreen fruit crops, you during June, July used to do planting because of high soil moisture during June, July, August. So like this spacing also you try to focus mostly for major crops only. You know, minor crops you can, if you don't have time you can leave, but for major crops, like even for not only major crops, I mean not only mango, banana only, you can go for aonla also, you can go for pomegranate also, you can go for ananas species also. Ananas species also they ask. So SDP, mostly you focus on HDP, because high density planting spacing. Like for guava, high density planting, how much for again for apple, how much for Amrapali, how much? 2.5, 2.5, suppose 1.2, 1.2 for papaya, your pusanana, and 1.8 for your banana, dwarf Cavendish. You different kinds of different varieties have different fruit crops have different spacing. Now mostly dwarf varieties are used for SDP, you know, right? So dwarf varieties, they will have short spacing compared to your commercial spacing. So you try to remember that particular spacing for HDP. Focus on that. So next important varieties is most cannot neglect varieties in your horticulture. So horticulture means you have varieties. So varieties, their process, whether it's developed through mutant or hybrid or selection or introduction, that also you have to know. Like Ganesh is selection from Alandi, and your Mridula is a crossing from Isaret. In that one, you have to remember the family, also parents also. Okay, parents, they might ask the parents and see, and then they will let the option be like which is the right offspring, or they will give you the variety name, what is the right correct combination of parents. So such kind of parents also you cannot avoid. Like apple, you please go and study that apple hybrids. At least one they will ask Ambridge or Richard Red or Akbar or different types of their all are hybrids. So you read that, and also specific features. whether it's woolly resistant, whether it's some mango varieties are spongy resistant like Arka, Aruna, and all spongy tissue resistant. So specific feature you highlight nicely and you read properly. Variety, you always revise varieties, they are hybrids, and whether they develop through mutants, or in mutants also whether they develop through gamma mutation or whether they through chemical mutants. So different types of mutant techniques are there, how they are producing mutants. So everything you have to cover. Okay. Next is why they are failing to fruit set, or why it is seedless. Sometimes some fruit crop will have ovule aversion like your anona and embryo aversion. Seedless is due to, in grapes you have mostly you have seen in grapes embryo aversion is causing a seedless, which is causing your stenocarpocarpy and pollen degeneration you can see in your kiwi fruit. So next, important training and pruning operations like bending related to which crop. Guava, you can see notching which related to which crop, it's pig. So skirting which is done in which crop, it's mango. So like that you have to remember the word as well as examples, like skirting is done in which fruit crop, notching is done in which fruit crop, bending is done in which fruit crop. This type of words, like these are the direct short questions, so you cannot avoid such questions. So this all you can find in MCQ as well as your clusters itself, so to score more than 80-90 marks easily. So definition of some terms like vitrification, cane, spur. So like spur, they might give spur is a current season suit, 1 year old suit, or it's a medium season suit, like different option will give. It's a 1 year old suit. So if you know the meaning only, you can solve. And vitrification is related to whether it's a tissue culture, whether it's related to mutation, whether it's related to your other option they might give. So it's related to tissue culture. Okay. So vitrification terms you have to know. Next, harvesting index. What is the harvesting index? Like in oil, you can see the oil content in your avocado, and in latex disappearance in your sapota. Different types of harvesting index each fruit crop have. So nutrient deficiency is one important topic. Physiological disorders, why it is causing, what boron deficiency is causing, what nitrogen deficiency is causing, what potassium deficiency is causing, what chloride toxicity is causing. So chloride toxicity you have seen in mango, you can find, and also physiological disorder mostly related. Boron causes cracking. And last year also they asked manganese that pecanut something mouse ear due to manganese deficiency. Okay. So this one physiological disorder also they might ask, so you cannot avoid. So related to your chicken and hen disorder in grapes. So next, PGR application and growth. PGR application means to control the malformation in mango. What is the what ppm and which hormone you are using? Na 200 ppm you are using, right? So such kind of application uses you have to know. So which hormone has, what is the biosynthesis, like what is the tryptophan is for your oxygen and methionine is for your ethylene. No, so you have to know the precursor also, and where it is synthesized also, whether it's apical bud or root tip or leaves. Different PGR they are releasing in different types of plant parts. So that also you have to know. So and growth curve, whether it's single sigmoid curve, double sigmoid curve, or triple sigmoid curve. So mango, citrus, you can find single sigmoid curve, double sigmoid sapota, and papaya you can find double sigmoid curve, triple sigmoid curve you can find in kiwi fruit crop. So list of this you have to list out. Okay, so this all whatever I have mentioned you can find in classification of fruit crop itself in your instant as well as clusters. So classification, if you cover very well, you can score more than, I think half of the syllabus is complete, I can say, for your net MCQ examinations, not for subjective like ARS. For that you have to thoroughly read the standard books. So classification of fruit crops is very important. That might be based on pollination, that might be based on your growth curve, that might be based on your way of pollination, whether it's wind pollinated, whether it's anemophilous, whether it's entomophilous, or whether it's ornithophilous like birds, or based on your chemical constituents. So different types of based on your acid tolerant, based on your salt tolerant. So classification of fruit crops you cannot skip. That is the fundamental part to score a good mark. So production problems also, some are like it causes, what problem it causes due to abiotic stress, high temperature, chilling injury also is there, freezing injury is also there, and her tooth is caused by your chilling, freezing injury, frost injury is also there. Mostly this frost injury and all you can find in the temperate areas. And chilling injury, mostly last year you have seen one question like choke throat in banana is caused due to low temperature, below 10 degree. If you go below 10 degree temperature, then banana fruit behaves abnormally and causes one disorder called choke throat. Okay, so such abiotic stress related problem you have to study, and physiological related unfruitfulness. Why it's unfruitfulness? Maybe due to pistil degeneration we have studied like in kiwi, and pollen ovule abortion also can be one reason. So different types of unfruitfulness you can find in basic horticulture. This is in basic horticulture, you go and read physiological disorders, it's very well written there. And some minor crops you don't need to go for cultivation aspects much, you just have to remember scientific name, hormone name, family, chromosome number, and any alkaloids or chemical constituent. This is enough for minor crop. By minor crop I mean you have pilu, you have dragon fruit, you have kokum. So different types of dragon fruit, your minor fruit crops are there. So you can at least remember scientific name, common name, family, and chromosome number and alkaloids, whatever is present. That's enough for minor fruit crops. So molecular markers based on your biotechnology, you have to know which is dominant, like which dominant, your RAPD, co-dominant, which is RFLP, PCR based RAPD, AFLP. You have to remember example. This is also there in clusters horticulture. Example, you just remember what is the example of co-dominant, what is the example of dominant, what is the example of PCR based markers. So last year they asked about co-dominant RFLP. They asked last year they asked. That's why this year they might ask co-dominant. Maybe PCR based they ask, or maybe non-PCR based they might ask. Non-PCR based is RFLP again. So now I cannot give detailed explanation. You can go in that clusters book. And also nursery techniques and propagating structures like polytunnel, hotbed, cold frame, lead house. So this is also there in your clusters horticulture. So just summarize, you read that. Also, otherwise you can go in basic horticulture as well. So you read that. I mean, whatever the front pages in clusters horticulture is there, please read thoroughly. That front pages is very helpful, whether it's basic pomology or classifications or your molecular biotechnology, whatever is there in front page of clusters horticulture, you cannot skip that. By some people directly they read to they directly start crops like mango or banana directly, but you cannot skip that front portion also. Basic your nutrient, you have plant growth regulator as well. You have different types of nutrient deficiency also in that front pages itself in clusters. And what are the type of questions they can ask related to breeding? Breeding like seedlessness, whether it's vegetative parthenocarpy, whether it's apomixis, whether it's sporophytic incompatibility or gametophytic incompatibility, different kind of question examples is there. It's also you can find this also you can find in your classification. And polyembryony, which is the examples of polyembryony variety and polyembryony definition you have to go. And what is the breeding methods? As I told you, whether this variety is selected through clonal selection or whether it's through introduction or whether it's mutated, what is the source, alkylated, or whether it's your gamma rays. So whether it's what is the parents crossing, that means parents. So breeding these parents hybrids, their way of development, like through clonal selection or whether through introduction or whether through hybrids, you have to remember for each hybrid when you are studying hybrid varieties. So next, ploidy level, whether it's octaploid, allooctaploid, or autohexaploid, or tetraploid, or diploid, you have to remember this also for every crop. Your strawberry example is allooctaploid, and kiwi is what? Autohexaploid. Persimmon is autohexaploid. You have to remember this kind of examples. You go back and study classification of fruit crops again in clusters horticulture. And it's dichogamy, clistogamy, chesmogamy. Examples is very important for whatever I have mentioned. Heterostylil, whether it's pin type or trump type. Pin type means sapota, your lychee, pomegranate, and trump type is your almond and carambola. So you have to remember examples, pin type or trump type, heterostylil, and this all are this dichogamy or your heterostylil can cause cross pollination, because in heterostylil they have the length of the stamen and pistil are different, so they need cross pollinated. So self incompatibility, whether it's gametophytic or sporophytic. Sporophytic, only three you have to remember. That is mango, aonla, cocoa. If you remember these three fruit crops, mango, aonla, cocoa, okay, the rest is all gametophytic. So only if you have in the exam, in the option, if you can find these three, then which of the following is sporophytic? Then if it's mango, then it's correct. It is Amla, it's correct. Well, if it's cocoa, it's correct. Other than these three, if they ask which of the following is vegetative, gametophytic incompatibility, then other than these three, mango, amla, cocoa, others are all are gametophytic. So whether it's dominant recessive or your recessive alleles, like polyembryony in mango is controlled by single dominant gene, dwarfness is controlled by single recessive gene, malformation is controlled by single dominant gene. So suppose dwarfness of papaya is controlled by single recessive gene, dwarfness in banana is controlled by single dominant gene. So which is dominant, which is recessive? Last year also they asked daru. Daru is a pomegranate wild type, so which is controlling which is the character to control bacterial blight. So whether it's controlled by single dominant or single recessive gene, it is a single recessive gene. So like you have to remember sex expressions and mutation, chimeras, bud spots, varieties is there. Whether a bud spot variety you can find red Elster in apple. So different kinds of varieties is there. Bud spot in grapefruit also you will find Thompson. So important scientists related to particular crop, whether your scoring technique in banana, Shepard and Simons and Shepard related to like it. Costerman and Bompard, mango related to mango. So this type of different scientists related to fruit crop you have to read while revision. This all you can do in revision. And also biotechnology, some tools is there for genome editing tools like CRISPR-Cas9, TALEN, JREP. If they want to make hard question paper, those who are reading only fruit crops, you might not get these words. So if you are reading biotechnology as well, then you can get this type of words, and then it will be easy for you. So some people might, if they hear TALEN, what is JREF, what is TALEN, what is CRISPR, they might feel it hard, but they all are genomic tools or the genome editing tools. So it's all a biotechnology of fruit crops. You can find these topics. Hardly they'll ask one or two questions only. If you don't know, you don't need to answer such questions. So transgenes like HCVRF2 for Applescape, which is the transgene, they will give option for plumpox virus PPV, for Applescape, HCRBF2. So apart from easy questions, I have also kept some hard, what type of medium or hard level questions they can make. If they want to ask the genes levels inside it. For other crops, this is only I'm giving one example for Applescape, but for other crops also it's there, like such genes, which is difficult to remember. So next, for post-harvest and plantation crop, you just read the clusters or instant and MCQ as I repeated earlier also. These three books at least you read for post-harvest also and for other preparation also. See, post-harvest we hardly ask, in plantation crop hardly ask 2 or 3 questions, 2 or 3. So instead of going to standard large books, you just study clusters or instant for post-harvest and plantation crop. That's enough. I can say that's enough. So collect at least you collect 10 new varieties which have developed last 1 year or 2 second year. So at least you try to, for any crop, you at least collect 10 new variety names. And also GI tag, for which fruit crop GI tag is assigned in the last, at least 10, okay, in the last year or last 2 second year. In ARS mains, they asked about one mango, one crop was there, they asked the place name, where in which place it was associated, this GI tag was given to this fruit in which state. So at least you try to collect 10 with GI tag assigned fruit crops, and also recently released varieties, at least 10. You try to search in internet, books, whatever sources you have. So research institute is also one of the important, and research institute, the location where it is located, IHR where it is located, CITH where it is located, NRC citrus where it is located, and also established year of IHR, NBPGR when it was established. So this questions, when you are revision, you do this, you try to remember years of support of important institutes majorly. If you cannot remember all, the IHR, ICAR, NRC, and NBPGR, these all are major. At least try to remember that. And fundamental and the key factor, what I believe is your multiple revision. Multiple revision, unless and until you go for multiple revision, you cannot bring that confidence. Even though it's easy questions, you have to go for multiple revision. Even you felt like you have read this book so many times and it makes you bored. No, you should not feel bored. You have to go again and you have to read, so that in exam you cannot make a single mistake. So finally, strength and success comes only through effort and struggle. Okay, and all the best.
Thank you, Michi. Michi, I have some questions like, can you share some important tips that needs to be on the fingertips for this coming up exam, which is very important?
Yes. fingertip means what I want to share is you please go to the classes horticulture and first of all you go and read classification of fruit crops. So because in that itself you have almost 30 to 40 questions is hidden inside in that classification itself. Because if you read the classification and if you start the fruit crop, you will read the same thing again. Like scientific name itself, you will find in classification, like chromosome number also you will find in classification, and based on your respiration also you can find in classification. So once you study properly classification of fruit crops, and when you start the crop wise, you will read again the same thing. So it is one type of revision also for you. So just I want to tell them, and also revision. Yes, in this one week you have left, at least revise 2 or 3, at least I can say three, 4 times you revise. You whatever time you have, free time, you utilize it properly, and just you go for multiple revision.
So what will you suggest for this last moment focus point? Like which topic you would recommend?
So last topic, I can most of the students, they usually confuse on varieties. So I can say you go and focus on varieties like parents, or whether it's hybrids, whether it's how it is in which related to which crop. Also some people they confused with whether this is papaya or whether it's pomegranates. So also specific features, whether it's drought tolerant. Last year they asked Annona glabra is actually which of the following species of Annona is drought tolerant. So there will be 4 options: Annona diversifolia, Annona muricata, Annona squamosa, Annona glabra. 4 options will be there. The answer will be Annona glabra. So like that, last moment you have to focus properly on varieties, because scientific name and all, I think by looking the option you can do. And yes, and yeah, I can say to revise properly this varieties and all.
So for you, what did you recommend, whether to go to attempt maximum question or only some specific question needs to be attended because negative marking is there? Because of this negative marking, most of the student does not reach the cutoff mark. So what would you suggest for that?
Yeah, I want to tell them that please attempt only sure short question which you know directly. You first go to at least, even though if you know only 60, okay, it's fine. If you cannot solve 80 or 90, it's fine. At least you solve 60, and or that's for ST. And yeah, for at least for unreserved, you have, if you think that you have scored more than 80 and the rest of the question is little bit doubt and you need just net degree certificate, I think 80 is also, it's good only if you have confident, and if you know the sure shot question. So negative marking is only if you can take risk when you have score, when you know many questions. Like if you know questions more than 100 questions, sure questions, like you know that answer very well, 100 questions. So then at least 10-20 marks, if you want to score more, or 15 marks you can score, then you can try some 10 more, 15 or 10-15 questions. But if you are on the verge of cutoff, like you are going to fall down below the cutoff, only you know hardly 3 or 4 questions after cutoff marks, so I think you have to stop there itself. So it shows how much confidence or how you know about that question or answer. That's it. So be careful about negative also. So but I want to say that net paper is just want to test your basic level. So basic level, it is not very hard also. But if you don't study, okay, certainly any exam is hard only. But if those who have prepared for at least 2 months or 1 month or 2 months properly, if you have prepared, I think they can easily clear. So it's just to test your basic level. So that's why they give you very basic questions, at least 60, 70 or 70, 80 questions, basic questions they will provide you. So you frequently revise the basic questions itself. Which variety is this? What is the chromosome number is this? And whether it's tropical or subtropical or temperate fruit crop. So basic questions, if you have covered, I think you no need to fear to write this exam.
Thank you so much, Michitani, for sharing on details on proper planning and executing the excellent strategies with us. And I hope the attendees will remember these important tips that he has shared with us. Thank you for giving your valuable time with us. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
Now I would like Minal to take over the session.
Hello. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Golmi ma'am, for taking the session till long. Now, I would like to invite Neha Arolkar, who has an educational background in vegetable science, for sharing her informative insights on the exam. Neha.
Hello.
Yes. Good evening.
Hello.
Yes, you are audible, Neha. Yes.
Good evening, everyone. Myself, Neha Arulkar. I have done my BSc in Dr. BSDKV Dakoli, and I completed my MSc from Dr. PDKV Akola, and now I am pursuing the PhD from Vasantrao Naik Marathwada Krishi Vidyapit Parvani. So today I am here to give the guidelines about my past experience for ICAR-ASRB-NET exam. So according to me, if you saw the previous year question paper, the 30 to 40% question they asked based on the breeding aspect. Then 10 to 20% questions they asked on the variety, which is new release variety, and other questions which include the production technology, then post-harvest management, seed production, etc. So you have to practice the daily question paper and focus on the variety, which is a new release variety. So coming to the next syllabus, syllabus is available on the website. You can go there and you can download it. In that important crops, they focus on that solanaceous crop. In that solanaceous crop, tomato, brinjal, chili, capsicum, these are the important crops. Then the cucurbitaceous crop. In that cucurbitaceous crop, cucumber, watermelon, then muskmelon, bitter gourd, bottle gourd. This is the important crops. Then in pole crops, cabbage, cauliflower is important. Then the bulb crops, then the root crop. In the root crop, such as radish, carrot, turnip, beetroot, they are focusing on these crops. Then for minor crop, they only ask the botanical name, chromosome number, and the family. For getting the maximum marks in this short period of time, you have to read one-liner question, then solve the MCQs. This is the most important. Then for the books I have suggested Gloucester's Horticulture is the important book for vegetable science. Then you can cover the maximum points in that book. Then Instant Horticulture by S.N. Gupta, Vegetable Science, D. Singh, Essence of Horticulture, then Compile Vegetable Science, and Perks of Vegetable Science by Dr. B.M. Raut. These are the books which you can read from that. Then if you see the pattern of question paper, 150 questions are there, and you have to solve that 150 question in 2 hours. So if you solve for each correct question, you will get 1 marks, and negative marking is there so that from that 1/3 marks you will deduct from your correct question. Means if you solve the 8 to 10 question and 50% question is incorrect, then also you will get the marks. So for open students, about 50% marks you have to get for qualifying the NET exam. Means about 75 marks. For OBC, 48 marks, and for SC, ST, 45 marks. So while solving the question paper, one UPSC strategy I will share with you. First strategy, don't follow the sequence. Means you have to solve your question paper in 3 different stages. In first stage, you have to solve that question which you know the correctly. And the second, in second step, you go to that question which you are confusing. Means if you are confused in between the 2 options, you go to question by in this 2nd stage. Then if you have time, you can go for the 3rd stage. So you can get the maximum marks by this strategy. So thank you so much, madam.
Thank you, Neha. So, I would like to ask some questions. What would be the strategy to prepare some keynotes for the last moment, like noting down the important topics, or just to revise in these last 7 days? What would be the strategy for that?
So as I said you that you have to read only one-liner question because it is a short period of time. You can read from Gloucester's horticulture because it covers the maximum points.
And what would you tell about the time management during the exam? Like what should be the mindset of the students? What should be the time management during the exam, and the questions they should attempt?
Okay, for 150 marks is there and only 2 hours is there. You have to manage the time according to what question you can solve and what question you cannot solve. According to that, you have to manage your time.
Okay, and should they attempt maximum number of questions, or should they stay in safe zone? Like, what is the ideal number of questions one should attempt?
As I said that if you attempt the 8 to 10 question and if in that 50% question is incorrect, then also you can get the maximum marks because from you can get 1 marks for each correct question and 1/3 marks will deduct from your correct question. Then also you can get the maximum marks. If you solve that 8 question and 50% marks, it reduce in that.
Are there some special points, or like when you have to memorize many kinds of things, like the name of scientists or the name of authors, or maybe some questions from current affairs must be there? So do you have any strategy for that?
Yes, for remembering most of question they are asked from reading, so you have to clear your concept, you have to clear your basics first, then you can solve the question like breeding, because in vegetable science most of the question they ask from breeding aspect, so you have to first know the basic concept of breeding.
No, what about the questions that we have to memorize, like scientist's name, or those kind of things, like the questions which are particularly memory based, that can slip from the mind of the students during exam? So what could be the pinpoints for that, so that students don't have to struggle with that?
Okay, for that you have to do regularly, you have to solve the question, that MCQ question you have to regularly solve. And for vegetable science, if you saw the previous year question, they ask only the varieties they ask, not that scientists, and they not much include in that vegetable science. So for variety, you have to write the new release variety from different website, and then you have to memorize them.
So are there some things or some last minute things you want to clear, you want to tell to the aspirants to boost their confidence in these times?
Only I have to tell that you have to solve maximum question, means 500 to 200 question you have to solve per day, then you can get the maximum marks. Practicing daily question paper is the only key of success.
Okay. Thank you so much, Neha, for sharing this information with the candidates. I hope they could be benefited from it. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so okay, that would be all from for this session. I would like to thank all the candidates who have joined us, all the aspirants who have joined us, all the candidates who have participated, and the team of Just Agriculture for organizing this session. This was the 5th day, and I hope you all are enjoying this session. So there are 2 more days left, and I hope by the end of the event, all your doubts would be covered. So that's all for the 5th day. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much.